Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how I mat and package up my pet portrait commissions. So if you want to find out what I do and maybe get some ideas for your own pet portrait practice, stick around and I'll show you how it's done. Pretty big. I do all of my pet portrait commissions on 11 by 15, which is a quarter sheet watercolor paper. So I buy my paper in big 22 by 30 sheets. I cut them into 4 pieces. This is my first pet portrait done on 300-pound paper, so that's exciting, right? Like, I actually really like that all I had to do was tape it down. I didn't have to do gummed paper tape. This one I did end up using staples on because I wasn't sure, but I digress. The whole point here is I just want to show you kind of like how I do this. So what I do is I used to just do an 11 by 15 sheet and then I would make my own mat that would come over. But I found out really quickly that it's a lot easier to just buy my mats. So I buy my own mats. They are an 11 by 14 opening and this is for a 16 by 20 frame. And so these are all measurements in inches. I'm not sure the centimeters. You'll have to look it up or do the, if you're in a different measurement system. But here in America, we use inches. So that's what I'm going to use. So anyway, I buy these at the old Hob Lob. Get these at Hobby Lobby. They're not too bad. They are $4.49 unless you can get them on the 40% off days, which I really love. So they come like this. It's a double mat. I do have a mat cutter, like I said. I used to cut my own mats. They just didn't look as good, and I couldn't find the right color of white. Believe it or not, there's about 1 million colors, like shades of white out there, and I just couldn't find the right one. These are perfect. So that's what I do. I just buy a bunch of these. I have them ready waiting for when I do a commission. And then I'm actually going to open this. This needs to be shipped out today for an actual client, but I just need to show you really quickly. I do put a little sticker on the bottom that says fits in a 16 by 20 frame, just so that the customer, client, whoever they give this to, usually it's a gift. And this one is a gift from my customer to her friend. So I want to make sure they know what size it is. So I do put that. I have a thermal printer and I make my own labels. So let's pull this bad boy. It took me forever to get this in here. So let's start with the sleeve since we have it here. My sticker also printed on my thermal label printer. I buy these stickers on Amazon. I will put the links to everything in the description. So don't you worry your little pretty face about that. These I also get at Hobby Lobby, but you can get them on Amazon. This is a 16 by 20 photo sleeve. I buy them in packs of however many come in the pack. And they're just so good to have. It just makes it look really nice. It's a good presentation. It protects it, waterproofs it. If the box or whatever were to get wet in shipping, the painting's fine. So there's that. The next thing I want to talk about is this is just foam board. I also buy this at Hobby Lobby. You can use whatever you can find. You can order it online. You can get it at Blick. You can get them at wherever. Like, it's just foam core board. I buy these in 20 by 30 sheets and then I cut them down myself. I have, like I said, I have my mat cutter, but it also has a straight cut blade. So I can cut foam core board. I can cut watercolor paper. It is the best investment I've ever made, to be honest. So this is my cutter. This thing I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. Yes, I go there a lot. But this is a Logan mat cutter. Here's the brand right here. It's the Artist Elite Model 450-1. I'll put the link in the description. But it comes with this straight cutter that does 3/16 inch foam board, also known as 5mm. It does standard mat board and watercolor paper. And then I also have a bevel cutter. Now this one cuts on an angle, which is known as bevel. Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I just cut this down to 16 by 20. Super easy. It's ready to go. Now, like I said, I used to use just a quarter sheet, but what I've started doing now, and I'm going to just show you this. This is my painting. In order for the mat to just be able to, everything is sandwiched beautifully. So this painting is sandwiched between the mat and the foam core board. And this way I don't have to mount anything. I don't have to tape anything. They just kind of sandwich together. The customer or whoever can put it in the frame. It's super easy, ready to go. So I have been cutting my paper 16 by 20. You can see the staple marks. I went a little crazy stapling this, but it's not going to show. It's covered by the mat, and so I'm not worried about it. They are like glued together, so you don't need to worry about any of that. It's ready to go. It's so easy, guys. You finish your painting, you sandwich it between the foam core board and the mat, put it in the sleeve, throw your sticker on it, and you're good to go. It's so, so simple. This is over years of trial and error and trying to figure things out. This is what I've come to. Yes, I'm using a little more paper, and it might be, you know, instead of getting 4 paintings out of one sheet, I'm really only getting like 2 paintings out of one sheet. But for the amount of money I'm charging for these, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It feels nice. It's luxurious. Oh, and like I said, this is my first ever commission on 300-pound paper. This is the Fabriano Artistico soft press paper. It's just got such a lovely texture. I'm kind of obsessed, as you guys know. And if you don't know, you can try out a sample of that on my website. So anyway, there you have it. Super easy. Why 16 by 20, you ask? I'm glad you asked. I can't stand painting anything smaller than 11 by 14. So basically, the personality of the animal, the eyes, I want them as big as possible. Watercolor shows its colors, literally. It shows its personality and all its little nuances and textures best when painting bigger. I want to encourage you, and I actually have a friend who paints like full sheet pet portraits, which is something that I think would be really fun. But most of my customers, this is such a good size. They can easily get a 16 by 20 frame. And once you have this up on the wall, this being 11 by 14, it's really not that big. It might feel kind of big until you put it on the wall. And then having this nice white border, guys, it just looks so good. It looks so profesh, you know? So that's what I've been doing, and it's so far so good. I really love it. I'm always open to change. I'm always open to suggestions. Let me know in the comments, have you done pet portrait commissions? How do you like to go about this? Do you use a mat, or do you just send it to them? Do you roll it up? I do want to talk about how I ship it as well, because that's really important. I'm just going to go ahead and put the sleeve back on with you watching so you can see how tricky it is. It's a little tricky. Especially when you've got the foam core board, the mat board, and everything, and it's kind of thick. It's hard to get in this sleeve. But it can be done. I know, because I already did it today once, and it was painstaking. I mean, come on. If I don't ride the struggle bus at least once on every video, then is it even my channel? There we go. Go on in there, baby. Oh, there's just nothing like a properly packaged commish. Okay. And then these have a little adhesive strip. Sorry, I can't show you. It's really satisfying pulling it off, but I can't show you because I already did it. And there you have it. And then I like to take like my shirt or a nice clean cloth and get all my fingerprints off this before I ship it. Sometimes I'll even wear gloves. It just looks so nice. Okay. I'm still kind of working out the kinks in my packaging, and like I said, I'm always open to new ways of doing things. Buying rigid mailers won't work for this. If your commissions are smaller, it works. I have a couple students who send theirs out they do like 11 by 14 without a mat, and they send it out in a rigid mailer. But this is just too thick and it's too big. So I basically I also get this at, you guessed it, Hobby Lobby. I almost said Home Depot. You can get this at Home Depot, the other orange store that starts with H. But it is on an end cap, and it's with like packaging stuff. It's very inexpensive, and it just looks nice. So I'm literally going to wrap my painting in this and ship it in this as well. Okay, so when you buy watercolor paper in big sheets, usually it comes with these cardboard corners on it. You can order these online, but I just saved mine up over time. I am about to need to order some more. But what these are is They're just the little cardboard corner deal that you slide on to the edge like that. They come with frames when you buy frames. If you buy Gator foam board from Cheap Joe's, these are going to come with. And they're going to look different based on where you're purchasing. But yeah, you can buy these online in bulk. They're so great. So this is going to protect the corners in shipping. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on the back of each of these to keep it in place while I wrap. Just a little tiny piece of tape. All right, so now the corners are on. One other thing I like to do is take a piece of cardboard and slip it in. I probably should have done that first to protect this from like gouging or anything like that. So let me grab that. So I just use the cardboard sheets that come with the watercolor paper. I love repurposing materials. You can use foam core board to make it look nice if you prefer. But I'm just going to go ahead and cut this to 16 by 20 and use that. So let's go on over to my cutter and I'll show you how I do it. Welcome to my cutting table, everybody. It's so exciting that you're here. Okay, so just lifting up this top and I've got my big old sheet of cardboard and I like to measure it just to know what I'm dealing with. So this is, I already know this is 22 by 30 because it's the exact same size as the watercolor paper sheets that I buy. You guys, I have so much of this. I have like this whole stash. I buy a lot of paper. You can buy sheets of cardboard like this anywhere. Like I said, I love to repurpose. So that's what I'm doing. And when I run out, I will go buy more. But for now, I don't need to. So I'm going to go ahead and put this setting on this to the foam board setting so that the blade is a little thicker. So as I push down, this will cut. So we're dealing with a 22 by 30 sheet. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to the 30 side and cut it 16. So my measurement is out here. This makes it really easy. I just pull it to the 16th, put down the guard, and then I'm going to put this on the thing, and it's very satisfying. So now I've got my cut. Okay, so now we've got a 22 by 16. We need to cut off 2 inches. So there we go. I might need to make it slightly smaller to be able to fit in those corner dealies. But there you have it, a 16 by 20 sheet. Okay, so let's see if it fits. If it fits, it ships. Yeah, it's a little too big. I'll go cut it. I'm not going to bring it with me this time. So normally I put the squares on after I sandwich all this together. So this is going to be sketch, but we do our best. And yeah, would it look a little bit nicer with foam core board instead of cardboard? Sure. Do I want to go spend the extra money? Not really. I mean, I'm all for being professional and things looking nice, but this is just to protect it. And then I'm going to put a little note on it that tells the customer to remove the corners and then remove this sheet to reveal the painting. This is a gift for someone who has no idea this is coming. So my friend and also client or customer purchased this from me, commissioned this for a friend, and I'm shipping it directly to her friend with a note inside. And I'm going to cover the names. There you go. So I'm going to put this on here so she knows who it's from. She's not like, who the devil? And then I've got a little note that's from me that says, let me know if you have any questions. And then I'm also sending my dot card because on my dot card on the back is my information, my email address, my website, and all of that. So these are going to go here with this sticker. So I'm not going to show you that part, but I've got string. Sometimes I like to tie it up with string. I'm not going to do that on this one. I've got kind of like my logo stickers. Now, this is a wrapping paper cutter, and this works so good for cutting this paper. So, yeah, invest in one of these next Christmas, or if you already have one, use it. I've got another one that's pink, but I like this one the best. This is the Fiskars brand paper cutter, and oh my goodness, does it work great for this. So I'm really sorry that you can't see everything. I guess I could turn this sideways. I'm gonna move my keyboard. My desk, it feels like it's getting smaller and smaller for some reason. Probably because I have too much stuff. I have too much stuff. Okay. I'm a minimalist at heart, but in practice, not so much. Okay. Goodness gracious. So what I'm going to want to do is pull this paper out, and I want it to be 2 times the length of this way, so that we can fold it over. We're going to tape it up like crazy, put our shipping label on it. And I'm going to like literally use, I like this Scotch heavy duty packaging tape. I'm going to tape the absolute crap out of this. It's not going to come apart in shipping. It's going to, I've never had a commission that I've wrapped like this had any issues in shipping. They always arrive safely. It's been great so far. If you're worried about it, you can ship it in a box. So here is an Amazon box, like a massive Amazon box that will fit it. The problem is then I'm going to need bubble wrap and da-da-da-da-da. So yeah, if you want to skip the corner protectors and just put this in a box instead. I've just found it's a little tricky to find boxes that are like 16 by 20-ish that fit. So this is what I do. It looks nice and it's super fun. So what I'm going to do is pull this out. I'm not going to wrap it. I guess I will. I just don't want you to see the names and the notes and stuff because they are private for my client. So for privacy's sake, I'm going to try to do this strategically. So I just want to make sure that that's going to double wrap over. And then I'm going to use my little cutter here. Try to make a straight cut. It's not as easy as you think. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and privately put on, I'm going to put my packaging and the note that says to from. And then I'm also going to make a sticker that says remove the corners, remove this, and you'll find your painting. So give me just a moment on that. Okay, so I just hand wrote a little note on a shipping sticker that says remove the cardboard corners and the piece of cardboard and you'll reveal your painting. And then now I'm going to go ahead and privately put everything else on and we'll get to wrapping. Okay, so I've got my pieces folded over. I'm going to pull it nice and tight. And we will be taping everything up nicely, but I just want to show you. I'm just going to wrap it like I wrap a present. I'm going to fold these sides down. This paper is super thick. It's a lot harder than wrapping a present with wrapping paper, but it will protect things really well. And it does take some practice with this because this, like I said, this stuff is really hard to work with. You may want to do things different, and that's okay. I'm just showing you how I've been doing things, and it's been working really well. I did look into getting special gift boxes that open up and from the top, and they're really nice and beautiful. They are really pricey. So maybe when my prices go up more or I start charging like really premium prices, then I'll invest. A lot of people are actually curious how much I'm charging currently for my pet portraits. So like I said, all my pet portraits are the same size. I don't like painting smaller. So some people will say, can I pay you less for like a 5x8 or whatever? The answer is no. They're always the same. Actually, I would charge more for a 5x8 because I hate painting tiny. But I charge $400 currently. And that price is always subject to change. As I improve, as I get better packaging or better supplies, or I invest in myself or invest in more learning, I'm always going to be raising my prices. Plus right now, I am only doing a few commissions a year because I've really been focusing on teaching. I love teaching. It has really become something that brings me a lot of joy. So I'm basically going to tape every edge on this. I buy my tape in bulk on Amazon. It comes in, these come in a 6-pack. I haven't figured out yet how to buy it just these without this. You can buy the heavy duty box tape for like when you're moving. That comes in a much bigger roll, which I actually had some, but I helped somebody move and they disappeared. So it basically just looks like a brown paper package tied up with string. Just kidding. I'm not going to do the string. That would get complicated, but okay. Now, let's say hypothetically speaking, I don't know what that was. Hypothetically speaking, let's say I'm going to just leave it like this, wrap it with string, put a little tag on it, and throw it in a box and ship it like that. You could do that because this looks nice. If I was going to do that, I wouldn't have taped it so crazy. I probably would have just used this. So, because then it's a lot easier for the customer to open. Anyway, guys, the sky is the limit. You can go online and search for any kind of packaging you want. And you can make it your own. You can have fun with it. So, what I'll be doing is I will put the shipping label on here. And then I'll throw my logo on it. And then I have a couple other stickers that I send. And then... yeah, I'll tape up the corners as well. Let me show you how I do that. Corners are important in shipping. Corners end up getting banged up and ripped, torn. So I do a piece of tape that way. And then I'm going to double up like this. Is it overkill? Maybe. Do I care? No, not at all, because I want this to make it safely to the piece. Oh, and I also want to talk about shipping. So I really like stamps.com. I do use stamps.com. They send you a scale that connects to your computer so that you can weigh your packages. I don't pay for a subscription. I just buy shipping labels as I go. But so for this one, I am going to use stamps.com because this one, she paid me differently than Shopify. So normally people buy a commission from me through Shopify, and Shopify actually provides the labels for me. So, and then I do have my thermal label printer, which is like the best investment of my life. Guys, if you have any kind of business or you like stickers, oh my heck, having a thermal label printer is like... childhood Ashley would be so excited for me right now that I can make my own stickers. Gosh, I was like 6 or 7. I was making stickers by hand and going around the neighborhood selling them. Like I had a basket full of stickers that I made. I like drew them by hand and anyway, so I love stickers. Okay. One more thing I'm going to do. This is weird, but I like to tape it across the middle both ways. It just helps give it strength. And then I am going to put a note on it for the customer that says open carefully, just in case she ends up cutting through the plastic of the sleeve. Anyway, future Ashley coming at you with an update. So I did send off the commission. The recipient got it and it arrived safely. All was well. She loved it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that and I hope that that was helpful and insightful to you. And like I said, the sky is the limit. That is just one way of packaging and mailing a commission. I would love to hear if you've got experience with this, if you've got suggestions or ideas for me. How do you like to package your commissions? Just let me know in the comments. I read every one of your comments and I try to respond. They make my day. So anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Catch you on the flippity flop.
I accept